call came just after midnight, carried through static and fear. A fisherman on the northern coast of Santa Telma reported hearing a woman's voice on the maritime radio channel, a voice repeating the same phrase over and over. "Don't turn off the light. Don't turn off the light." The problem? The old Blackwater Point lighthouse had been deactivated 3 years ago. Its lamp was gone, its generator dismantled, its tower locked and sealed by the Naval Authority. Detective Rafael Torres, rubbing his temples at the end of a long shift, replayed the audio the fisherman had recorded. A woman's voice, panicked, echoing, almost as if it were coming from inside a stone chamber. Izzy looked at him from across the table. "That voice, it sounds like someone trapped." Marcone leaned closer. "Who worked the radios in that region?" Izzy pulled the file. "Helena Mora, 42, maritime radio operator. She monitors boats, weather reports, Coast Guard communication, lives in the small village of Barra do Sul, near the lighthouse." Rafael nodded slowly. "And she was reported missing yesterday." They arrived at Barra do Sul during sunrise, a tiny seaside village with only fishing boats, sand-covered streets, and a constant smell of salt and diesel. Local Sergeant Nito approached them at the pier. "You're here for Helena," he said. "We found her gear by the rocks, but no sign of her." "Who last saw her?" Rafael asked. "A fisherman named Paulo Nunes. Says she was planning to inspect the lighthouse area, even though it's closed." Izzy frowned. "Why would a radio operator go to a deactivated lighthouse?" Nito hesitated. "Because she'd been hearing something. Voices, signals, strange transmissions. She said they always came from the direction of Blackwater Point." Rafael looked at the horizon. The lighthouse stood in the distance. Tall, dark, silent, a dead tower. But something inside it was very much alive. They met Paulo at the docks. A man in his late 40s, sunburned, nervous, hands trembling as he cleaned his nets. "I told her not to go," Paulo said. "Told her the place wasn't safe, but she was stubborn. Said the ocean was talking through the radio." Izzy tilted her head. "What do you mean?" Paulo hesitated. "She said she picked up transmissions that didn't match any boat. Whispers, distorted voices, someone asking for help. And last week, she said she heard a name." Rafael stepped closer. "What name?" Paulo swallowed. "Her own." Izzy's breath caught. "Helena heard someone calling her name through the radio?" Paulo nodded. "That's why she went to the lighthouse. Said if someone was trapped in there, she couldn't ignore it." The beach near the lighthouse was quiet, too quiet. The waves whispered secrets against the rocks, and the lighthouse loomed like a dead sentinel. At the base of the tower, they found Helena's radio headset, her notebook, her flashlight, shattered, and fresh bloodstains on the stones. Izzy picked up the notebook. Dozens of entries, strange signals, coordinates, times of transmission, and the last page. "If they turn off the lights again, someone will die again." Rafael frowned. "Again?" Marcone looked up at the tower. "Something happened here before." They circled the lighthouse until Izzy found something strange. Sand mixed with dark grit near a sealed maintenance hatch. "This sand," she said, "it's not from this beach. Too coarse. More like the northern cove." Rafael nodded. "Which means someone came here from another entry point." Sergeant Nito arrived with a file. 12 years ago, he said quietly, "a young man disappeared inside this lighthouse during a storm. They said he slipped from the stairs, but his body was never recovered." Marcone groaned. "Another 12-year gap? Like the bus case?" Izzy nodded. "And look, Helena circled this date in her notebook." Rafael stared at the lighthouse door. This was not about radio interference. This was about someone who had used the lighthouse for something much darker. They forced the old metal door open. The air inside was heavy. Dust, salt, mold, and something else. Something rotten. The spiral staircase rose in the dark. Every step creaked. Halfway up, they noticed the markings on the wall. Fingernail scratches. Deep ones. Izzy whispered. Someone tried to climb back up, and couldn't. At the top, they found a maintenance room. Old tools. Coils of rope. A half-empty bottle of sedatives. Marcone sniffed it. "This is fresh." Rafael pointed his flashlight at the corner. Boot prints, but not Helena's. Larger, heavier. He followed them to a metal grate on the floor. Bolted shut. Fresh marks around the edges. He knelt. "Someone opened this recently." Izzy listened. Faint breathing. From below. Marcone's eyes widened. "Someone's down there." They unbolted the grate and climbed down a narrow hatch into a forgotten chamber beneath the lighthouse. A storage area. Cold, damp, with a single door at the back. Behind the door, a small room, and inside it, a girl, early 20s, weak but alive. She whispered, "Please, don't turn off the light again." Izzy rushed to her side. "Who did this to you?" The girl trembled. "He said the darkness keeps us quiet. He said the light brings people. He said Helena ruined everything." Raphael's expression hardened. "Where is he now? The man who brought you here?" The girl pointed upward. "The keeper. He never left." They climbed back up the tower. On the upper landing, they heard footsteps above them. On the lighthouse balcony, a shadow moved against the pale sky. Raphael drew his weapon. "This is the police. Step away from the ledge." A man turned slowly. Thin, salt and pepper beard, eyes like broken glass. He wore a lighthouse keeper's jacket, old, faded, torn. Izzy whispered, "He was supposed to retire years ago." The man smiled. "Helena shouldn't have listened to the voices. She should have ignored them like everyone else." Raphael stepped forward. "You turned off the lighthouse to trap boats." The man nodded calmly. "The darkness hides paths. Smugglers pay well for darkness. The light brings trouble." "And Helena?" Raphael asked. "She wanted the light back." "And the girl in the basement?" He grinned wider. "The light would have brought her help, but she wasn't supposed to be found." Marcone's jaw tightened. "You drugged them, dropped them inside the tower. Let them crawl until they starved." The keeper shrugged. "They all begged for the light. But darkness is honest." Suddenly he stepped onto the edge of the balcony. "If I leave the lighthouse, who will keep the dark alive?" Raphael lunged, but the man let himself fall. His body disappeared into the crashing waves below. Helena's body was found 2 days later in a sea cave beneath the cliffs, sedated, injured, and washed into the chamber by the tide. The girl in the basement survived, slowly recovering her voice and memories. And Blackwater Point Lighthouse was finally sealed forever. On their last day in the village, Izzy stared at the waves. "Do you ever think about the ones we arrived too late for?" Raphael nodded slowly. "All the time. And the ones who leave messages no one hears until the end?" Raphael looked at the dark silhouette of the lighthouse. "In Brazil, even dead signals find someone to answer."